Hi, my name's Hank Hallowell. I chair the exhibit committee here at the AACA Museum in Hershey. Today we're going to talk about one of my favorite subjects, the Chrysler B Body, which involves industrial espionage, the termination of a president of Chrysler Corporation, the end of Virgil Exner's reign as the executive director of styling for Chrysler, the beginning of Elwood Engel and his styling, and some of Chrysler's most famous, really supercars. And right now we're in the Golden Gate Bridge exhibit behind me. And here we have some fabulous Chrysler B Bodies on display that are Hemi powered, and we'll look at those in a little bit. But first, the background of the B Body, which spanned from 1962 to 1979. That's a long time for a body platform to be in production. It changed wheelbases and it changed designs in that time, and began at a 116-inch wheelbase and grew all the way to 118 by the time it went out of production in '79 as the Dodge Magnum XE and the Chrysler Cordoba. But let's start at the beginning, which is our industrial espionage chapter, which is pretty interesting. And it was born by Chrysler's then president, William C. Newberg, who attended a garden party in 1960 at which there were guests from all of the major automobile manufacturers. And he overheard a conversation by the president, or the general manager of the Chevrolet Motor Division, about their new small Chevy that they were introducing for 1962. So he took this eavesdropped information, went back to Chrysler, and on Monday morning called the head of styling, Virgil Exner, and engineering into his office and ordered an immediate downsizing of the already approved 1962 car line. In Detroit, it takes 3 to 4 years lead time to design a new car. He ordered a brand new car for 1962 in really 2 years, which is an incredibly short period of time. So they had a crash design plan that went on and ultimately produced the 1962 Dodge and the 1962 Plymouth, both on 116-inch wheelbases. Now, that may not sound like a lot to the average person, but keep in mind the 1961 Dodge Polara was built on a 122-inch wheelbase, and the 1962 Dodge Polara was built on a 116-inch wheelbase, producing two full car lines that, when they came out in 1962, weren't particularly competitive, because in reality, what Bill Newberg overheard was the head of Chevrolet talking about the brand new 1962 Chevy II. They didn't downsize Chevrolet at all. So here we had Dodge and Plymouth basically stuck trying to sell a small car as their full-size car for the 1962 year. William C. Newberg ultimately lost his job at Chrysler for other reasons, and the new president, Lynn Townsend, came in and terminated Virgil Exner as head of design and hired Elwood Engel from Ford Motor Company, who was responsible for the redesign of the 62s later on in 63 and 64 and 65. Dodge ultimately, quickly in a 3-month period, introduced a new full-size car for 62, the Custom 880, and the B Body midsize car was born, and totally really by accident and really necessity. The Chrysler B Body platform was a rigid platform, it was adaptable, and it was very popular, because at that point, America was just beginning with its whole midsize car platform, which ultimately led to the Chevelle and the GM midsize line, and of course the Ford Fairlane and Mercury Meteor and their midsize line, which was never as successful as the Chrysler line. And if you've never heard of a Mercury Meteor, it's because they weren't particularly popular. So in 63, 4, 5, the B Body was slowly shrunken and turned into the popular Dodge Coronet and the Plymouth Belvedere series. By 66 and 67, and we have one right here, it was restyled, again as the really popular Coronet and Belvedere lines. And then it was restyled again in 68 for 68, 9, and 70. In this body style, and then again it came out and was renewed in 71. And that was the final platform, 71, 2, 3, and 4. And then it was reskinned as the Cordoba, which everyone remembers, and the Dodge Charger SE, and then ultimately the Dodge Magnum XE. And it ended in 1979. Interestingly, in 79, it came out again and was restyled one more time and was the basis of the R-body platform for the New Yorker, Fifth Avenue, Newport, and Dodge St. Regis, which soldiered on until 81. So it started as a full-size car in 62, was adapted as a mid-size platform by 63 and 4, and then ended as a large car platform in 79, when there was no longer a full-size Monaco and it was just the mid-size rebadged Coronet, and then ultimately St. Regis, and on and on. So it's a really fascinating story. The cars carried some of Chrysler's best-known nameplates, the Dodge Charger in 66, which was of course reskinned in 68 and continued on until the end of the Charger SE line in 1978. And then, of course, as the Roadrunner, like this one I'm leaning next to, with a 426 Hemi in it, and the Dodge Super B, and the Plymouth GTX, and Plymouth Satellite. So, and of course the Coronet nameplate. So it was really Chrysler's bread and butter platform, and made them a lot of money, and is probably one of the most famous car body platforms today. If you're in the area, please stop in and visit our museum. It's a 70,000 square foot facility. We have 100 cars on display in our galleries, and another 100 in our available for you to see in our behind the scenes tour if weather permits. So stop in soon.